Hi, thank you for joining me for day one of 30 Days of Sketches with Christie's Beautiful Life, round 12. And today's sketch, you can see in the top right hand corner there, is designed by Kelly Hambrick Pyron. I'll put her details in the description box down below. And I'm trying desperately to work through our summer holiday photos from last year before we go back to the same place again this year. So I've chosen two 3x4 photos of my family walking over the island of Herm on the first day that we got there. So I'm using Fernwood for this because the colours just work so well. I have used Fernwood an awful lot for these photos, but like I said, they just work so well for this beautiful island, which is very green, has lots of fern on it, and it just works. So first of all, I'm creating those 3 flag banners that Kelly's put on the left-hand side of the page. So I've just chosen out 3 papers, 2 greens and a blue, and you can see I'm just working out what size I want or what length I want them to be, and then trimming the fishtail banner at the bottom. And I think these were all about 2.5-3 inches wide, and I'm overlapping them like that. And then I found this cut apart card with the shoes on, and I just thought that would work really nicely because I want to document about my hopes for walking every day on this holiday. I've been using an exercise bike since lockdown, 6 out of 7 days a week, and I was really scared that I was going to lose my fitness by not doing anything while we were away. I'm not a naturally fit person, but I've just decided that I need to start taking my health a little bit more seriously, so that's why I've been using the exercise bike, and consequently wanted to keep going while I was away. So I'm just using my pencil now to mark out where these pieces are going to go so that I can add my mixed media to the background. And I'm going to pull out my Shimmers Creamies Sage It Isn't So. So I'm just moving everything to one side, and then I'll bring that Creamies in and add it down. I love these Shimmers products, and this green just works really nicely. So just adding it around the edges of where the pieces were going, and then I shall leave it to dry before putting them back into place. So just, you can see when my paintbrush goes off the top of the screen, I've got a pot of water there, so I'm just adding a bit more water to water it down so that I can add some splatters now and also carry on painting around. There we go. I did add a bit more paint at the top. When I brought my pieces back in, I decided that it needed a little bit more at the top there. So now I'm going to glue these fishtail banners down. And I wasn't very accurate when I added my pencil marks, so I've decided that I'm going to leave a gap at the top and then fill that in with something else. So just positioning everything, checking that it's okay before I go ahead and glue it all down. Again, just using my wet glue for ease. And it doesn't need to be all over the back of it, just enough to keep it in place. That's 2 down, just the blue one to go. And now just checking that I'm happy with the positioning in terms of where the paint is at the bottom. So I've got this documenting cut apart that I had from when I was working with some Obed Marshall Especial papers for our crop, the Warrington crop page kit. So I had this just put in my little pot of bits and pieces that I keep on my desk, and I thought that would work really nicely with this layout, so I'm going to add that to the top to bridge that gap that I was talking about, where the fishtail banners had to go a little bit lower. And now just gluing all these other pieces down before I start embellishing. Just the last photo, and then I can start bringing bits and pieces in. So this is one of those 49er market tickets that I just had sitting on my desk, and that just covers the fact that the paint didn't go quite as far down as I wanted it to. And then this is one of the gorgeous new bits and pieces from Hey Little Magpie. It's a Smile fabric label, and I love those. They come out with, there's a pack of, I think it's 7 of the large ones and then 5 of the small florals as well. They're all embroidered, they're beautiful. So that Joy Flair badge is one of our new canvas flares in 1 1/4 inch They're gorgeous as well, of course. I have to say that, don't I? And I'm sticking the title down. I've used some of the words from the Puffy Word sticker, and I've just made the title to be New Everyday Routine. Because like I say, my journaling is going to talk about the fact that I wanted a new routine while we were on holiday. So just going through some of the puffies that are on that puffy sticker sheet and adding them as sprinkling bits around the page. There was so many left over, I really wanted to get some used up. So just adding the hearts and stars and bits and pieces around. And then from the 6x12 sheet, I remembered there was this sticker that says Wander, and that works so well with these photos. So I've just added that at the top, and then one that says Discovered, I'm adding to that tab that's on the side of the sketch that Kelly had created. So I wanted to include that. This is one of the JD3DPrint geotag hearts. And you'll see I've also popped down a white shirt button there. That's just off one of our old shirts. I keep the buttons because they always come in handy. So adding a little nest of green thread behind that Flair badge. And I'll stick that down with some wet glue. And now going through the chipboard pieces. And I find this banner piece that says Such Wonderful Things Surround You. So adding that flare down, and then I shall glue down the chipboard as well. So now having a look through the sticker sheet to see if there's anything on there. And I find this piece that says Live Rather Than Exist. So I just add that as a strapline underneath the main title. And now here I am coming in with my journaling. So just drawing some pencil lines for guidelines. And then adding some thread to that white button, and I'm just going to tie it in a bow. This is the green wax thread that we sell at Hey Little Magpie. And leave the ends trailing down. And that just creates a really nice different piece of texture and dimension there. I was really pleased with that. So now I brought out the 49 and Market Spectrum Sherbet rub-ons, and I wanted to add some of these stitched pieces around the page, and then I will come in with some of the butterflies as well. These have been sadly neglected in my Spectrum Sherbet stash, so I thought what better layout than to use it on this with all the greens. So just cutting that piece in half of it's going at the left hand side and half on the right hand side, and I've put it right from the very top so it looks like it's stitched down that documenting piece, and then just using the rubbing tool to get that adhered down. There's the first one, and then this one on the right. And now I want to use a bit of this one in the middle, so just trimming that apart. And that will go beneath that photo. And I don't need a big piece, just enough to fit from the Flair badge to the Converse trainers. Just making sure that I can get it under to exactly where I want it. That's that. And now here are the butterflies that I was talking about. So I'm going to bring this small one in at the top there. That's sort of a bluey green. And then I'm going to come in with the bright lime green. One at the top left that you can see there. First of all, this one here on the right hand side of the title. And that just fills in that gap nicely. And then, as I say, that bright lime green one is going to go on the left hand side. Oh, another little one first above that smile label. It's funny how quickly you forget, isn't it? I only did this layout yesterday or the day before. And there finally is that lovely lime green one. And once these are down, I keep looking through the rub-ons and find the lovely text print that they've got in them. So I'm going to add some of those bits around the page as well. and it just adds to the distressed look that you've got with the mixed media. First of all, I'm going to add some stitching, so I just add 4 cross stitches to this fabric label to hold that in place, using the green wax twine. So just punching the holes with my needle, and then I shall stitch those crosses on. Just a bit of a wiggle to get the needle through. So securing it on the back with a bit of tape. And then stitching that. I won't make you watch it all, just show you the start. And then securing that on the back. And then again, I'm going to add a whip stitch down the left-hand side of this here. And you can see there, and I've actually used that to hold that long left-hand tail from the button in place. Couldn't think what it was called then. The bow on the button. So these are those text pieces that I was talking about, and it just adds something else to that slightly flat background that I've got with just the Shimmers paints. This really brings it to life. So just a little piece down here, and then I find another piece to put underneath that lime green butterfly on the left hand side. Just making sure that everything's rubbed down. You just pull up gently, you can see if it's not adhered properly, so you can just rub it a little bit more to get it put down. I think below the stitching first of all, but then I decide that it's better up next to the butterfly. I'm just rubbing that into place. And now these tiny words, and I'm just going to scatter them around the place. So I've got one that says the Y, and I'm going to put that just there above the journaling. And then another one that says wonder that's going above the 2 photos, and another one that says discover that goes down the right hand side of the right photo near that smile label. So this is the wonder one. And then one more after that. And it's amazing how much these little pieces of text bring to the layout. It's lovely. So do check the description box down below for everybody else who's joining in on this month-long hop. Christie's created a playlist for us all, so we just add our videos and you can just go at your convenience and watch to your heart's content. I think that's just about it for this layout. Thank you so much for joining me, and I shall see you again tomorrow. Bye for now.